Welcome to the fascinating world of chess. Whether you're a complete beginner or just looking to brush up on your skills, this guide will walk you through everything you need to know to start playing chess confidently. Chess is a strategic board game played by millions around the world, known for its deep tactics and rich history. In this video, we'll cover the basics, from setting up the board to understanding the rules and learning some essential strategy. Let's begin our journey into the game of kings and queens. You can play, you need to know how to set up the chessboard. The board consists of 64 squares, alternating between light and dark color. Place the board so that each player has a white square on their right-hand side. The pieces are arranged in two rows, the back row for major pieces and the front row for pawns. This setup is crucial for a fair and standard game, ensuring both players start on equal footing. Understanding the layout helps you visualize moves and plan your strategy effectively. Each player starts with solar pieces, 1 king, 1 queen, 2 rooks, 2 knights, 2 bishops and 8 pawns. Every piece has its own unique movement and role on the board. Knowing the names and basic functions of each piece is the foundation of chess. As you become familiar with them, you'll start to see how they work together to control the board and create opportunities for victory. King is the most important piece in chess. The objective of the game is to checkmate your opponent's king, meaning it cannot escape capture. The king moves one square in any direction, horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. While the king is not very powerful in terms of movement, protecting it is your top priority throughout the game. Losing your king means losing the game, so always be mindful of its safety. Queen is the most powerful piece on the board. She can move any number of squares in any direction, horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. This versatility makes her a key player in both offense and defense. Using your queen wisely can help you control the board, launch attacks, and support other pieces. However, be careful not to expose her to unnecessary danger, as losing your queen can be a major setback. Rooks are strong, straight-moving pieces that travel any number of squares horizontally or vertically. Each player starts with 2 rooks placed at the corners of the board. Rooks are especially powerful in open position and during the endgame, where their ability to control entire rows and columns can dominate the board. Coordinating your rooks can lead to devastating attacks and strong defenses. Bishops move diagonally across the board, covering squares of only one color, either light or dark. Each player has 2 bishops, one for each color. Bishops are most effective when the board is open, allowing them to control long diagonals and support other pieces. The unique movement can create powerful threats and help in both attack and defense. Knights are unique because they move in an L shape, 2 squares in one direction and then 1 square perpendicular. They are the only pieces that can jump over others, making them valuable for surprising attacks and tricky maneuvers. Each player has 2 knights, and mastering their movement can give you a tactical edge, especially in crowded positions. Pawns may seem simple, but they play a crucial role in chess. Each pawn moves forward 1 square but captures diagonally. On its first move, a pawn can advance 2 squares. If a pawn reaches the opposite end of the board, it can be promoted to any other piece, usually a queen. Pawns are essential for controlling space and supporting your more powerful pieces. Now that you know the pieces, let's review how they move on the board. Each piece has its own movement rules, which shape your strategy and tactics. Practice moving each piece to get comfortable with their abilities. Understanding movement is key to planning attacks, defending your king, and creating opportunities to win material or position. Main goal in chess is to checkmate your opponent's king. Checkmate means the king is under threat of capture and cannot escape. The game can also end in a draw if neither player can checkmate. Understanding the objective helps you focus your efforts and make decisions that bring you closer to victory. It has a few basic rules every player must follow. White always moves first and plays alternate turns. You can't move a piece to a square already occupied by your own piece. Capturing is done by moving your piece to a square occupied by an opponent's piece. Special moves like castling and en passant add depth to the game. Learning these rules ensures fair play and opens up new tactical possibilities. Castling is a special move involving your king and one of your rooks. It's the only time in chess when 2 pieces move at once. The king moves 2 squares toward the rook, and the rook moves to the square next to the king. Castling helps protect your king and connect your rooks. However, you can't castle if the king or rook has moved before, or if there are pieces between them, or if the king is in check. En passant is a unique pawn capture that can happen when a pawn moves 2 squares forward from its starting position and lands beside an opponent's pawn. The opposing pawn can capture it as if it had only moved 1 square. This move must be made immediately after the 2 square advance, or the opportunity is lost. En passant adds an extra layer of strategy to pawn play. When a pawn reaches the opposite end of the board, it can be promoted to any other piece except a king. Most players choose a queen as it's the most powerful. Promotion can turn the tide of a game, so always look for opportunities to advance your pawns. This rule rewards careful planning and can create exciting endgame scenarios. Opening phase is all about developing your pieces and controlling the center of the board. Move your pawns to open lines for your bishops and knights, and try to get your king to safety by castling early. Avoid moving the same piece multiple times or bringing your queen out too soon. Following these principles will give you a solid foundation for the rest of the game. In the middle game, focus shifts to tactics and piece coordination. Look for opportunities to attack your opponent's king, win material, or create threats. Tactics like forks, pins, and skewers can help you gain an advantage. Always be aware of your opponent's threats and look for ways to counter them. The middle game is where creativity and calculation come together. The endgame begins when most pieces have been exchanged. Here, king activity becomes crucial and pawns often decide the outcome. Learn basic checkmates like king and queen versus king and practice promoting pawns. Endgame knowledge helps you convert advantages into wins and save difficult positions. Some checkmate patterns appear frequently in games. The Bach rank mate, smothered mate, and ladder mate are essential to recognize. Practicing these patterns will help you spot winning opportunities and avoid falling into traps. Understanding checkmate techniques is a big step toward becoming a stronger player. Stalemate occurs when a player has no legal moves and their king is not in check. This results in a draw even if you have a winning position. To avoid stalemate, be careful when you have a large material advantage and make sure your opponent always has at least one legal move. Understanding stalemate will help you convert advantages into victory. Best way to get better at chess is to practice regularly. Play games with friends, online, or against computer opponents. Analyze your games to learn from mistakes and discover new ideas. Study famous games and puzzles to sharpen your tactical skills. With dedication and curiosity, you'll see steady improvement and enjoy the rich world of chess even more.